Hey guys, how are you? I hope you're doing really good until now. So as I promised, I brought you guys another video in which I'll tell you what is exactly Fortnite doing with its Middle East servers and what is its relation with AWS. Like what does AWS and Fortnite like actually have some, okay? So make sure you guys watch till the end because also in the end I'll tell you some of my personal experience that happened with me like yesterday, and it's a hint to the Middle East servers. So make sure you guys watch till the end. So Epic Games stated this tweet back in January, and let's just try to understand what are they trying to explain to us. Okay, so Epic Games said we work with multiple cloud providers to supply the infrastructure for Fortnite servers globally. None of these providers yet have capacity available in the Middle East region, but we expect to have a solution in the next few months. Also, while I was suffering to the internet, I found the director of the Epic game stated this while he was in a reInvent 2018. He said Fortnite is one of the most world's popular video games, runs nearly entirely on AWS, including its worldwide game servers fleet, backend services, databases, website, and analytics pipeline and processes system. I know that got over your head, but like okay. And here's actually the video, so you can like watch the whole video or like you can skip it if you have already watched and just stay tuned, okay?
Thank you, Peter. It's great to be here tonight to share the story of Epic Games. A lot of you probably know Epic's from X Games, some very popular games like Gears of War or Fortnite.
Okay, so now he probably just said nothing about Fortnite. So I'm just gonna skip all the part where he did not mention about Fortnite.
Let's talk about Fortnite. So again, a lot of you know Fortnite, it's become a pop culture phenomenon. It's a free-to-play, 100-player, last man standing game. And Fortnite has attracted quite a lot of players. In fact, we have 200 million players now worldwide, peaking at over 8 million concurrent players at a time. So imagine after skydiving out of a floating bus, shooting it out with other players and building defensive structures on your way to winning the game, what we like to call a victory royale. We have millions of current players playing in the game right now. So let's show you what's actually powering all of this. So around 2014, Epic Games began a transition from a developer of games, like Gears of War, to a publisher of online games using a games as a service model. We needed a reliable cloud partner so we could really focus on innovating with our products and on our platform. And as you can see, like we're heavily reliant on AWS now with all the different services we use, and it's become a critical part of our operations for both Fortnite and the platform that powers it. So AWS has really enabled us to grow. Fortnite has grown more than 100 times in the last 12 months alone, so scalability has been really key for us here. We run our game servers in more than 24 availability zones, 26 availability zones around the world right now, and we have an almost 10 times difference in workloads between peak and low peak in any particular region. So elasticity is really, really important for us that the cloud provides. So with Fortnite, we really test the boundaries of scale. As part of the storytelling for Fortnite, we put on these one-time events that last only several minutes each. Right? We invite all of our players to come in at the same time and participate in these events. And our first event, we launched a giant rocket ship. We invited all 125 million of our players at the time to come in and play, all at the same time. We achieved a level of scale never before seen before in Fortnite, possibly any game in the world. And then we did it again fairly recently with an event the community dubbed Kevin the Cube. It's a little harder to explain. You had to be there. Look it up on YouTube or Twitch, and you can see all about it. So it's really cool. But we really stretched the capacity of AWS to the limits with these events. So let's take a closer look about how we actually accomplish all that. So as I mentioned earlier, Fortnite runs primarily on AWS. We've got worldwide game server fleet that runs across multiple availability zones, a set of backend services, databases, and website that support all the game operations. We also have a very large analytics pipeline that supports all of our products, including Unreal Engine, Fortnite, and others in the future. We have dozens of microservices using a variety of technologies from Java, Akka, and even Go. Don't have time to talk about it all, but let's talk about our analytics pipeline. So these stats largely speak for themselves. We have game clients that are constantly sending data to us, and analytic pipelines that handle an enormous amount of telemetry data coming in from users, and a large-scale infrastructure for managing all of that data. 125 million events per minute, leading to a staggering 5 petabytes of data per month that we're at right now. So how do we manage all of this? So our entire analytics pipeline runs on the AWS infrastructure. We have telemetry from multiple sources coming into our Kinesis stream, where we have a real-time pipeline driven largely by Spark, DynamoD for temporary storage, feeding tools like Grafana, Scoreboards API, which I'll talk about in a little bit, and some real-time SQL type tools that analysts can use for analysis. We also have a batch pipeline where all data, incoming data, comes into S3. S3 is our data lake. It's where we store everything. And then on top of that, we do a bunch of EMR processing to batch that up into tables. And then you use Hive over S3 to actually expose those tables, right, to tools like Tableau and other things that we want to do. And then finally, we have a bunch of ad hoc SQL analysis tools that analysts can use to do deeper dive on gameplay telemetry data. So what do we do with all this data? So one of the things we do is we monitor service health. So the client is a great early warning mechanism for a lot of different types of issues. The client really understands the user experience. There's a lot of things we can actually monitor from the client side that you can't actually monitor from backend at all. Things like ISP outages and other types of issues like that. So another thing we use is tournaments. So we've actually run multiple tournaments over the last year for Fortnite using and Tournament Masters set up a bunch of custom rules for basically determining who wins the game. And we give out everything from swag to money as prizes. We've actually announced over $100 million in prizes over the next year alone that we'll be giving away for these competitions. Then we use it for basic KPIs, all the publishing KPIs that you use to run the business. Things like average revenue per user, month active user, daily active user, et cetera. And then finally, we use it for deeper game analysis, basically looking at the design of the game to make it better. So as we look ahead, one of the things we think about is global resiliency. While a lot of the game servers themselves are distributed, a lot of our servers are actually still running in a single availability zone, which isn't great if we have a problem or in terms of the number of users impacted. So always something that we're trying to improve on. With our growth, we always want to find better ways of managing these microservices. So we're looking at technologies like EKS and Kubernetes to help us in the management tools. And then being one of the biggest games in the world, we have to be really vigilant against a bunch of bad actors who are just constantly attacking our services, trying to gain favor. So we're looking at things like Amazon Guard Duty and other things to help with threat detection. We're also looking at tools like Neptune to build a social graph and potentially implement some anti-fraud tools. So we've been really busy. And recently, we launched a new limited time mode for Fortnite called Food Fight. The battle of Durr Burger versus Pizza Pit has begun. 1 wall, 2 entrees. The food fight is on. Let's watch the trailer. So as you can see, there's really no limit to the zany antics we can get away with in Fortnite with things that we do like that. Please, everyone, enjoy the rest of the event, and I will see you at the food fight. Thank you very much.
So now that we already know Epic Games rely on Amazon Web Servers for their own servers, now what happened is, after the 6 months, Amazon press release states, developers, startups, and enterprises, as well as government, education, and non-profit organization can start using the AWS Middle East region to run applications and serve end users across the Middle East. So yeah, Amazon did allow various companies to establish themselves with the release of this new server in Bahrain, and Epic Games is one of them. However, there is no way to confirm the validity of the leak as of yet, and it will be still on Epic Games to make any sort of announcement, especially regarding something like this that has grown massively on Twitter, with fans asking each day just when they will be able to play with the normal ping. Seeing as Epic had already made it a priority for the year and promised fans that they would not have been to wait long for the localized batch of servers, it surely can't be too far away. So all we need to do now is wait for them to release the server. Also, Amazon gave them all the power to make their own servers, and Epic might be taking time right now, but believe me guys, they're coming really soon. We can wait for some days. We have waited for years, so like why not days, you know? Also, it took me a while to collect all the information and put it in front of you guys. I might took a while to make this video, but this is pure information guys. Unlike other YouTubers trying to scam the release date. I did all this for you guys, and I hope you will help me too by dropping that subscribe button so that I can grow on YouTube. Let me tell you something, okay? My dad is actually pressing me to find a job while I don't want to do other things. I love YouTubing and contacting with you guys. So please support me and help me grow. It would actually mean a lot to me. Thank you so much guys for tuning in. See you until the next time.